Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be going over the differences between a new gen Smersh, about 2017 year of production, and an old gen Smersh, sometime between 2007 and 2009. Starting off with the shoulder straps. We'll then move to the magazine pouches and then finish off with the butt pack. So the first big difference you're going to notice between the sets of shoulder straps is the new gen Smersh has a wider distance between the shoulder straps. You can see here how wide that is, and then on the old gen Smersh, how wide that is. It's substantially thinner. The next big difference is that the new gen Smersh has a drag handle on the back, whereas the old gen Smersh has these two loops. Not really sure what these are for, maybe routing wires for radios, but I couldn't tell you. Someone smarter than me will know. Next, the new gen Smersh has these Velcro loops on the shoulder straps. The old gen Smersh lacks these. The old gen Smersh has this piece of webbing that's sewed down all the way, which connects to these big loops. The new gen Smersh has smaller loops and no stitched webbing down the side. This has Alice attachment points on it, the old gen Smersh does, and then the new gen Smersh has Molly webbing attachment points. Another small difference is the new gen Smersh has this SSO branding right here on the shoulder strap. The old gen lacks that. So that's about the difference between the shoulder straps. You can see the one here without Molly, and then the one here with Molly. That's about the biggest difference, is the Molly and the drag handle. Moving on from there, we've got our magazine pouches. So on the new gen Smersh, you're gonna have these elastic cinches here that you can use to aid in magazine retention. You can have them tighter or looser depending on how tight you want your mags held in. The old gen Smersh lacks these. It does not have that feature whatsoever on the old gen Smersh. The next big difference is going to be the pull tabs. The pull tabs on the old gen Smersh are just these little pieces of webbing, and on the new gen Smersh they're much longer and they have this stitched in rib for her pleasure that helps you rip them open a little easier. Then from there, the shape of the magazine flap is going to be different. On the old gen Smersh it's shorter and rounder, and then on the new gen Smersh it's longer and more oval-like. From there, the way the magazine pouches are assembled is a little different. On the old gen Smersh, it's kind of this big square piece of fabric that's all stitched together, whereas on the new gen Smersh, it's a little more rounded off and a little bit more just the magazine pouches without that extra fabric sticking out up here. The next difference on the magazine pouches is the new gen Smersh is going to have SSO branding on them. The old gen Smersh lacks the SSO branding. Now moving on to the grenade pouches. The old gen Smersh has just a Velcro closure with this piece of webbing that goes over and snaps, and there's nothing on the inside of the pouch, and they're a little bit smaller than the new gen Smersh. You can also notice, if I can close it, there's a little bit of SSO branding on the snaps, which we can't see on the new gen Smersh because all the snaps are covered. I'll show you the magazine pouches on the new gen Smersh. It's a snap and Velcro closure, and on the inside of the pouch there's this little piece of webbing here that does something, probably to do with grenades. Moving on from there, we'll touch on the butt pads, or the waist pads, or the yokes, whatever you want to call them, are pretty much identical. The only difference is that the new gen Smersh is going to have "Made in Russia" on the butt pad. Oh, one thing, I'll have to cut and paste this. The old gen Smersh has slightly different mesh material on the inside. It's notably different and lacks this piece of stitching right here, but otherwise they're very similar in their padding. So that's the magazine pouches. Moving on to the butt pack, there's not many differences other than the difference between Alice and Molly. I believe it's Alice, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's what those attachment points are for. On the old gen Smersh, you can see it's got two pieces of Alice attachment points right there, and then on the new gen Smersh you can't really see it because they're covered up by pouches I have attached to the Molly, but it's Molly on the new gen Smersh. The only other difference on the butt packs is going to be the new gen Smersh has some SSO branding right here and right here, and the old gen Smersh lacks both pieces of branding. The tags for these garments are going to be different as well. This is the old gen Smersh tag, and this is pretty much how...
You're going to have to cut this. Don't forget to talk about the clips.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about the clips. Okay. The old gen Smersh And all old gen SSO equipment is going to have this style tag, just about. And then the new gen one, it's all worn away, but this is what the new gen tags look like. One quick thing I forgot to mention is the buckles on the old gen Smersh are a little bit more robust. They're sturdier, they're more durable, and they're quieter. And then on the new gen Smersh, they're a little bit cheaper and not as quiet. But moving from there, that's about all the differences on the Smershes themselves. We'll quickly touch on the med pouches. Now, I don't know if this med pouch came with that Smersh originally, but it was when I got it, and I've seen several other old gen Smershes come with med pouches in this exact style. It's got a little tab and loop closure system at the bottom, and then Velcro. It opens from the top, and on the inside you have one pouch up here and a divider on the inside of it. And on the back it has two metal loops, and it closes with Velcro, and it attaches with Velcro. The new gen med kit opens from the side, has a pouch here. There's no divider on the inside. It has these elastic loops on the inside as well. And on the back, it lacks the metal loops. This is aftermarket. It doesn't come with a blue force gear tourniquet holder, unfortunately. And it also attaches with Velcro, like the other med pouch. Now, real quick, some closing words. I've heard a lot of people say that the old gen Smersh is better than the new gen Smersh. I don't really see a good reason as to why that is. I feel like the new gen Smersh just has more features than the old gen Smersh and more modern features. But it does, you know, the old gen Smersh gives you more clout on the airsoft field and could be more kit accurate depending on what impression you're going for. So that would be the benefits of the old gen Smersh. I will say though, there are old gen Smershes that have slightly different features, like a extended back panel here with some mesh. Some people might see that as a big pro over the new gen Smersh, but mine does not have that. What I think people are talking about when they say that the old gen Smersh is better than the new gen Smersh, it's actually, I think they're thinking about partisan harnesses, which is a completely different rig and has many reasons why it could be better or considered better than the new gen Smersh. But when you're comparing actual Smershes to each other, new and old gen, I don't really see the pros to the old gen other than the airsoft clout. So that's gonna do it for today. Thank you for being a nerd and watching this video, and have a good rest of your day.